What's going on, guys? I want to welcome you to Season 4.5 and the side-by-side comparisons of all the changes that should radically shift this meta. From more healing reduction to address the triple strategist, to people like Jean Grey and Human Torch going down massively in viability. This will give you good eyes on side-by-side of the changes, and some of these are going to really pop out to you more than others. Of course, we have the home run hit that is Daredevil joining the cast. We'll have a guide on him in the coming days before you guys jump in live later this week. And so let's go ahead. Let's jump into the side-by-side. All right, guys, first up, we have Angela, our newest hero in Season 4. And they gave her a nice little buff here to the survivability that you can see with her bonus health per hit going from 30 to 40 for herself, and then allies from 15 to 20. Now, it doesn't pop off the screen in a side-by-side example. She's like 20 ahead in terms of bonus health, but over consistent time in ranked games, this will definitely help her, just survivability and threat that you can offer when diving down and trying to impose your will. I think Angela is taking a bit more time than others to really get clicking in terms of play and especially team play. But she's coming along, and this should help her a good amount. Next up, we go to Venom, who's already pretty meta right now in terms of high-rank play, but he's going to get even better and most likely a must-ban option as they try to address the triple strategist that's plaguing all over rivals. They'll be giving his ultimate ability, Feast of the Abyss, a new 30% healing reduction to enemies hit that lasts a whopping 4 seconds. And you can tell by the side-by-side, the main difference here is that you've got this blue bar that does indicate healing reduction. Again, this isn't something that will wow you in the side-by-side, but if you enjoy dive-type Vanguards and you haven't picked up Venom, or it's been a while because Venom, it was maybe shelved for a while for you, go back to him. He's definitely going to help you win more games. All right, next up, let's talk about the Daywalker in Blade, who's been that Human Torch-esque hero getting buff after buff, and he's finally getting to a pretty nice place. Now, they do, again, want to address more consistent anti-heal, and that's going to kick us off here with Blade, as they'll be giving his new secondary attack range a little bit of a boost in terms of distance. Now, this is something that you'll see more in live games, and before this fix, if a target was at all moving away from you, it was near impossible to land the anti-heal or the sword slash, and now it's much more consistent, and you'll see this be applied in more games. Now, honestly, I think this is what he kind of needed, is more consistency for this role of him. Blade is a very interesting hero that doesn't fill a ton of niche in some game case scenarios, so this will definitely give him more purpose, especially with all the anti-heal. Now, in addition to this, guys, they'll be increasing the duration of each slash speed attack gain during the Bloodline Awakening. Now, this is great because it's going from 0.7 seconds to 1 second per stack, and what's cool about this is you can switch to your shotgun and utilize the passive there, but also just leads to faster sword slashing and getting it done with the Daywalker. On top of that, landing all 4 of his hits with the Whirlwind Slash is going to grant him 1 slash speed stack as well to get you shredding your targets that much faster and wasting no time. I think this is a big dub. It combines the damage now with the Whirlwind into even faster stacks. Next up, we go to Human Torch, that has just been dominating top rank and still a hero that's gaining more ground in the lower ranks, but it's not the best time for Johnny Storm. He'll be taking a pretty big hit here, guys. They'll be reducing that fire cluster hit damage per projectile, which there's a good amount coming out. 5.5 is going down to 5, and you can see this in the example makes a pretty big difference, combined with now Fire Cluster having a half-second delay before ammo begins to replenish, and it's noticeable on getting finish eliminations here, like on the Emma. In addition to this, they're also going to be affecting his plasma body. That's going to affect a lot of ways that he kind of moves around. Not always the biggest difference, only going down by 50 from 900 to 850, but it should make him a bit less slippery altogether. Okay, let's move on to Iron Fist, and let's face it, after Daredevil coming out, no one's going to play this guy, but I don't see a ton of difference with this effect. You can see that the Emma dies like ever so slightly faster, and again, maybe this is a bug. Sometimes it's not fully, fleshed out here in these pre-early access builds, but they've lowered the fixed damage of this fast punch attack from 9 to 8, but they've increased the max health per strike from 2.7% to 3.1%. I don't know. I don't really see the biggest difference here, because with that percentage difference, it should be higher. Kind of lackluster buff here for Iron Fist. All right, moving on to Mr. Fantastic. Reed Richard is going to gain a bit more crowd control over mobile heroes, have they said before. And again, they use different words for the same thing. We've seen this now with Thor, with Angela. So if you're someone like Black Panther, or jetting away as Iron Man, or, running as Luna Snow, multiple heroes have different mobility abilities. You won't be able to use those for at least a second. So that should help give him an interesting role. Still just, they don't really know what they want to do with this guy. I thought it was going to be more of a stun, potentially, but that's not the case. Either way, should do some disruption, and maybe he creeps up even more in lower rank. I still don't think this guy's going to get played much in the high rank. Now that takes us to Jean Grey, and I've seen a lot of Phoenix players not really worried about these changes. Some think it's going to kill the character, and I'm definitely thinking it's that. I mean, this is huge for what she does in her kits and throughout her games. First of all, the melee attacks, losing stack sparks is massive. I mean, this was such a big way. Quick headshot here, you can see on the Jeff, into a melee can pop and ignite. Now you've got to land every shot all the time, and the melee attacks are going to just be out of her rotation completely, making her not even close to the threat that she was if you came up close and personal to her. And so just an awkward place that she's in, especially with Hela getting some nice buffs as well. On top of that, her Dark Ascent was an insane ability that you could spam at any time. Now it's got a 1-second cooldown regardless of the charge you have. And on top of that, this is the big one. The primary weapon ammo is not going to be replenished anymore. So you're going to have to do it the old-fashioned way by, pressing R or, controller reload. Tough times for Phoenix. Wish they would have maybe given her, one of these changes, or at least found a middle ground. But this is gonna hurt the character. However, if you saw the trailer back with Blade and her, you saw that Hela was the arch nemesis there, and well, the arch nemesis is getting buffed. You're gonna see a slight change in her Astral Flux startup cast time, and although it does seem very minimal and it's only a couple milliseconds, it can help you when someone's trying to flank you or you have a melee character up close and personal on you while you're trying to snipe with your thorns. This should help Hela on top of giving her some extra survivability. But it's on a long cooldown, so don't expect that 25 health to be a huge difference all the time. But, nice for some getaway action. Next, we move on to Psylocke, guys, and she's definitely going to be a big winner from this patch. Obviously, they took away some of her burst last patch. Still getting played not nearly as much, but now you've got an ultimate that is something to fear even more so. Now, you can see by the side-by-side, she is zooming with this ultimate in terms of how far she can go and how fast she travels, getting essentially a double increase. But on top of that, she does more damage, which is going to result in eliminations on someone like, let's say, Groot faster, but also if someone's trying to survive this and heal each other up in terms of, let's say, triple strategist, she can slice and dice that faster to make it tough on the opponent. Huge win for the Psylocke mains out there. Okay, now let's talk about the strategist change. We start with Cloak and Dagger, and this isn't always the easiest thing to show, and you can see a slight difference here when looking at the ult charge rate of both Ty and Tandy. They'll be increasing Eternal Bond from 4,300 to 4,500, and again, it's like every patch is just going to increase this ultimate that people just use all the time. Still a good hero, has their uses, but this will make it a tad bit longer to charge up. Let's go and take a look at Jeff, the baby land shark, and looking at Satan's greatest soldier, I've got Hela for a good example. The thorns that you can do on his giant hitbox of the head is going to do way more damage. You can see in the side-by-side, it's not a 2-tap, but damn near close to it, as Jeff was having a good amount of health there before. Is going to have a sliver after with a big decrease of the crit damage reduction from 70% down to 50% with his Oblivious Cuteness passive. This is a win. More Jeffs are going to die. Moving on, guys, we have Raccoon getting an increase on his damage boost granted by his Sia from 25% up to 40%. This is one of the biggest changes today. Going to help out the team and Rocket have much more viability within his matches. Damage will be pumped out, combos can happen, and this is a big win for those that enjoy the Guardian of the Galaxy. And then we end things here with the strategist on Ultron. Now, Ultron will be having the same energy cost increase on his ultimate, the Rage of Ultron, from 3,400 to 3,700, as you can see in the example. It's going to take a bit longer to charge up this thing, but in addition to that, he's going to have that constant healing go down. I mean, it's not something that you can, see as a massive example in a side-by-side, but it will be felt, and I think this will slow down, kind of what he does as that triple strategist and one of the most important to the cog of that machine. Again, they're just definitely attacking the constant healing of triple strat just head on. And it does stink for him because if he's used in just kind of couple strategist comps there in lower ranks, it's going to hurt his viability. But either way, Ultron's still very good. Now let's take a look at Arcane Order and Magic's team-up effect. They'll be increasing the cooldown of this chain that puts your opponents together from 15 seconds up 5 seconds to 20. And that slow effect's maximum range is going to go from 60% to 40. Don't worry, guys. Magic is still damn good. And then we have the biggest winner in terms of team-up. Yes, Namor is losing his Gamma Squid, but he is gaining an absolute deadly threat with Hela. First of all, you get eliminations. You get these Ghost Squids that consistently do damage on whoever else is around, maybe the payload or the objective. But on top of that, he gets this insane Tidal Dirge ability that is going to do a slow anti-heal, and on top of that, some good damage. This was not talked about a lot with his anti-heal, But that's just another healing reduction that you're going to continue to see within the game. And Namor getting this is bonkers. And then, of course, you have Punisher, who's going to get a small little upgrade there with Daredevil and a smoke grenade with his new Justice Sense ability. So that's going to do it, guys. That's all the changes in 4.5. Not that many, but should be impactful overall. If you guys found this video helpful and you want more guys just like it, we got a lot coming your way. So subscribe down below. Maybe become a member if you feel like it. Help support me as a creator. And until the next one, guys, happy rifle.